Hey everyone, hope everyone is doing well. So in this video here, I want to discuss Clorinde because we're coming down to almost the second phase of the banners, 21, 25 more days again till Clorinde drops, and this is my best way that I could explain her kit, to be honest, because to some people it seems like they don't really know how to use her. So this is the best and easiest way that I could explain her kit, and I hope you enjoy this video. So she has normal attacks. Basically, she's a sword user. She scales off crit rate. So the juicy thing about her kit is not really just about her design, but her elemental skill. This is the bread and butter of her kit. So the elemental skill, when you go into this state, she converts her attacks into gunshot. She starts using a pistol and shoots at the enemies, which is cool. Plus it's electro infused. I'm not sure if this is a single target. I heard there is a small splash damage, but I know for certain that it could penetrate opponents. I could be wrong about that, but I've seen some gameplays where they have grouped up enemies and it looked like all of them were taking damage. So that's kind of good. She isn't like a character like Yoimi and stuff. She could pierce through and do AoE damage. Remember that this isn't considered elemental skill damage but normal attack, so she could take advantage of units like Beidou, Yelan, etc. You don't have to worry about the Beidou problem that Raiden Shogun has, very disappointing. Now, if you don't know anything about Bond of Life, I'll drop a link down below. I have a little explanation of it, as simple as I could do it, because you will need to know a little bit about it, because she has this mechanic or debuff depending on how you look at it. Okay, so here how this works. She has two different states, two different abilities to stay in her state. She could shoot her gun and she could do stab attacks. To use a pistol, you do left clicks or normal attack, and to do lunge and attack, lunge and stab attacks, you click the elemental skill, which is still considered normal attack. So when you don't have a Bond of Life and you go into this elemental skill state and you click the elemental skill, she performs the lunge and attack. When the Bond of Life is less than her max HP, she regains HP and the AoE and damage is increased. Remember that, because this is what you're going to be doing when your HP is less, or when you lose HP because you cannot be healed. When she has a Bond of Life but is less than 100% of her max HP, it will grant her Bond of Life when you fire her pistol. I believe about 3 shots should be able to cap out her max HP, because I think it's like 35% for each gunshot, electro gunshot, by the way, remember that. So the way how I see how this works in a kit is you go into an elemental skill state, click elemental skill, fire her guns. If you don't have any Bond of Life, to gain a Bond of Life, get it maxed out, which might be about 3 shots, and this will increase the damage and AoE of her lunging attack. And if you want to know how this works, you know how Zhao does his elemental skill and dashes forward? It's like that, but it's a different animation. It's a waifu charge. Up to you. Alright, bro. Yeah, let's continue. Her elemental bursts. She has one of the coolest cutscenes. I will have to say that. It feels like Genshin Impact has hired some new people in their team. I could be wrong about that, but her cutscene, Alekino's cutscene as well, it's like so different than all the rest that we have. She strikes the enemies in her AoE fashion with multiple attacks. It just hit them like that, and it grants her Bond of Life based on her max HP. And I think it's about 100% at talent level 7 and up. So that's good. Her first talent. When nearby enemies trigger electro-related reactions, her attacks are increased by 20% of her attack for 15 seconds with a maximum of 3 stacks. This is kind of good because, to be honest, you will want to run Clorinde in a kind of aggravate, quicken, hyper bloom team. And you won't really use her with Bennett. So, she's getting about 60% there. But there is a cap there, so keep that in mind. Her second talent, if her Bond of Life is equal or greater than 100% of her max HP, her crit rate is increased by 10% for 15 seconds with a maximum of 2 stacks. So you could get about 20% crit rate there. And plus she ascends with crit rate, so she might have about 40% crit rate. that's amazing. You put a crit rate weapon, a crit rate circlet, and you could use, if you're not going for her best in slot weapon, you could use something like mid splitter or something, to buff up the crit damage. She seems to be a very easy character to build, I will say. Also, her elemental skill state that heals is buffed up by 100% of her bond of life. So she seems like really good, although that she has the bond of life. It's not like that bad. Like I know some people, they are having trouble with Alekino using her bond of life for some reason. So, she's getting more buffs with her healing as well. She seems to be like pretty good at self-sustaining. It won't be as bad as Alekino but to be honest, bro, Alekino, she gets back her burst so fast. And well, Clorinde, she could heal herself, which is kind of good. And I guess that's the easiest way that I could explain her kit. You go into the elemental skill state. If you don't have no bond of life, you do left clicks to get the bond of life from her pistol shots. And then when you get it maxed out, then you start doing the lunging attack by clicking elemental skills again. To be honest, that's what most people have to, learn. And which is not much. There's like paragraphs of text and stuff. That's the simplest way. Go into elemental skill if you don't have no bond of life. Use the pistols like what all of us are going to do. I know some people, they might not even want to do the lunging attack, and just gain some bond of life and just start doing elemental skill, and she will start lunging at the enemies, which she could lunge at me. But yeah, I forgot how my camera on and I'm talking like this, bro. I'm not gonna cut off anything. So yeah, that's Clorinde's kit. Let me know if you like this kind of settings of how I'm doing my content now. I feel like it's time for me to start introducing myself to more players and my community as well. And this is actually a bit more difficult for me to do, because when I'm doing everything, I chop up the clips and try to make it perfect. I guess that this could kind of help me in real life, I guess, to conversate and stuff. So let me know if you want me to do more like this, or go back to the way how I usually do my content with no face, if you don't find me appealing. But yes, guys, Clorinde, to be honest, she looks good. I honestly didn't really look into her kit much. I just, felt like it's about that time where I should start hyping myself up to get this character, or to feel really bad when I lose the 50-50, because I have a C1 Alekino. I doubt that I could get her, but yeah, Clorinde looks really good. It like the animation and stuff is cool, but it's doing one thing, that's doing damage. To be honest, I kind of find it similar to like Ayato mixed up with like Zhao, but the animation and her design kind of separates it from there. But when I actually look into the kit now, like I had this written down, and now that I'm speaking about it, I'm actually kind of thinking about things that I could do with her. She seems more interesting than what I originally thought about her. She looks good. And if I win the 50-50, I'm gonna drop mad content about her. So next up, I might consider, talking about Sigewinne as well. So let me know down below what you think about, I'm going to say Alekino, Clorinde's kit. Are you gonna pull for her, or are you gonna skip and wait until, I think 4.8 we are getting a new character, or is it reruns? I don't know. But Natlan is right around the corner. Withering Waves is gonna drop soon. I have a video in mind about Withering Waves versus Genshin. Well, not really a versus, but our thoughts, me and the DPS community, that's Void, Phantom, Kinkle, Scoop, etc. And we should get that done sometime this week. So yeah, hit the like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. There's a while I watched Tenha. Tenha used to do this. I miss that dude. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.
Stars shining really, moon visions in my sight, landing nowhere within sight. Had to take her with me. She was tasty to my sights.